Hi everyone, my name is Kes and I collect. And today I'm going to do a video on my top 10 childhood dolls with a story. Before I started recollecting, I owned 99 dolls, so all of those dolls are from my childhood, but some of them have a more interesting story than others. That's why I wanted to grab 10 of them with the most interesting story or the most memorable story for me. And I think it's gonna be interesting. Also to relive that moment of getting the doll and kind of going through my childhood in a fun way with a doll. These are not in a particular order necessarily. I organized them on story a little bit, and it's not really that one of them has a better story than the other, but I do think my first doll has the most important story. So that one is gonna be number 1, and the rest is just random. Let's get started with number 10. Raven Queen, first chapter from Ever After High. The reason why this doll is so memorable for me is also part because it was filmed when I opened her a while ago when I was still very chronically ill. My boyfriend at the time made a documentary about me. It was part of a school project and he wanted to do a documentary about me and how I lived my life being chronically ill and all the struggles that it came with and the hospital visits and the surgeries and everything. And I remember when I got her, because I was under anesthesia for this surgery or this checkup, I don't really remember. I basically blocked all the surgery stuff out, so I don't have a time frame, but I do know when I got certain dolls because that was more important to me at the time. That's also kind of how I dealt with everything. I had anesthesia and I got home, so it was kind of I was a little blurry, you know? I wasn't I wasn't all there, and I got her from my sister and my dad, or my sister and my mom, I don't remember, because my sister always helped pick out which doll I wanted because she knew the dolls that I wanted and the dolls that she wanted, because whenever dolls came out we always split them up, like, okay, I want that one, okay, you want that one, and then we kind of divided the dolls so we would complete lines. And this was the time where Monster High, we kind of had the ones that were in the store, and we saw a lot of Ever After High, and Monster High was kind of leaving because they were planning on doing the reboot. I got into Ever After High a bit, and my sister picked out Raven Queen for me. I remember it, like, I remember where I was sitting when I opened her. I was sitting on the couch downstairs. I was a little blurry, and I was opening her and I was so happy. And then my mom asked me, like, who is that? Like, what's her name and stuff. And I was like, this is Raven Queen from Ever After High. I was really happy that I got her. Number 9, Spectra from School's Outline. Now, this doll doesn't necessarily have a really special story or a special attachment like the last one, but I remember it so well when she came out. Me and my sister were watching the Monster High webisodes. These were new characters, like Abby and Spectra were new characters introduced, but they weren't in the webisodes yet, so the dolls released before the webisodes. So I had this image when I saw her. I always have that, like when I see a character I have a certain voice in mind and a certain personality and I just make it all up. When I saw Spectra, I was like, whoa, she looks really cool, love the leather, love the chain. She's probably gonna be really edgy, right? She's gonna be really cool and tough, and I thought her voice was gonna be like very low pitched because she looked so cool, you know? I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then when I saw the webisodes, I was laughing so hard because it was the complete opposite of what I thought it was gonna be. So she's very memorable, and same goes for the Abby one, but with Abby I thought she was gonna be really sweet and cutesy and girly because of her color scheme, and then she turned out to be the opposite, which was epic and which made the characters even better and which made me like them even better because it was unpredictable for me, and I always love things that are unpredictable. This is definitely a doll that I memorize a lot getting, and I bought her online, I think. Number 8. Persephone Melody. So as a kid I was kind of involved with the whole when things were gonna release and stuff, and I saw reviews, of course, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope they're gonna get in my country soon because I'm from the Netherlands, so things can drop a little late here compared to the US. But then me, my sister, and my dad went to France on a holiday, and of course me and my sister always wanted to check out every single toy store because they usually had different stuff than in my country. And then I saw these, and I believe I got another doll too, I just don't remember who it was. I think my sister got Abby 13 Wishes. We never saw her in our stores. She got that one, and I believe I got another one, but I also saw these two because I was like, Mom, Dad, I've never seen these before. These are so rare. I need to get them. I'm not gonna find them anywhere else. I was doing my whole speech moment to make sure my parents would get me these dolls, and they did. So, and I remember loving these characters too because, you know, they don't say much in the webisodes. They're kind of in the background, but I always liked that, you know. In stop motion series, or when I was playing with my dolls with my sister, it was fun to have some characters that didn't have this whole developed personality yet. So you are able to kind of fill in the blanks and make up the story your own. And I thought that was really fun, and I loved when Monster High created a little less well-known characters. Number 7, Dracula and Claude School's Out. So I remember as a kid, I would always ask certain dolls from like certain family members because otherwise I would get doubles, and that wasn't really my plan. I knew their budget, and then I would pick a doll that was around their budget, and from my grandparents, I asked these two. I really didn't know if I was gonna get them because they weren't in my country yet. My dad showed them where to get them. I remember something vaguely that I was celebrating my birthday on another date. So my grandparents sent me this postcard with this really funny, blurry, weird angled picture of these two in the box. It was just really funny to me, and it still is to this day. I will never get rid of it. And this is the picture. Yes, it is this blurry. It's De Monster Haien Wachten. So these were my number 7. Number 6. Clawdeen Wolf Dead Tired with the Bunk Bed. I think I told this story before, vaguely, maybe in a live video with my best friend Amy. Me and Amy were in the same class. We were in high school together. Amy started collecting a little bit after I started collecting, so it was really fun to have a best friend and share the same passion. So with school, we went to Germany to this Christmas market thing, and it's very popular there. And we went there with our whole class with a bus to just walk around on the market. But when Amy and I arrived, we obviously wanted to look for a toy store, which was a huge challenge. They didn't really have a toy store. It was inside of another store, and they had a little toy aisle, but it wasn't really a toy store. But we found it eventually. I think we looked for 2 hours. We almost gave up, and then we found this little toy aisle in this random store, and they had Clawdeen with the bunk bed, which I don't think at the time I've seen that one before in stores. So I got really excited, and of course it was a little big to take home, like with the bus. But Amy and I both got her, and we slept on the box on the way back. And it just has a cute little memory. And I think it's super cute that Amy and I both got the same doll at that time. Number 5, Tora Stripe. When she came out and when I saw her and my sister saw her, we were both obsessed because at that point I think we only got like the main characters and stuff, not really a mean character or an evil character. So when we found out that she was releasing, we got really excited and we both really wanted her. I believe she was on my list of the dolls that I wanted to get, and my sister really wanted Nephra. We celebrate this holiday in my country called Sinterklaas, which is kind of like Christmas, but it's different. But there are presents involved, right? And I was able to feel by the boxes that it was a Monster High doll. So my sister opened a present first, and it was Tora, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, because she wasn't released anywhere, I believe only in the US. That was insane. We were both so happy. And then I opened a present, and it was Tora too. We both got Tora, and we used one of them for the fashion pack. She's honestly super stunning, and I'm really happy that we both got her. So that was just a fun little story because we were both not expecting it at all because she was just released in the US, and we were able to get her. I have a good memory with her. Number 4, Frankie Stein Classroom. This was one of the first dolls I got because our collection started really small, like all collections start really small. But the fun thing about her is that I won her in a competition. I was one of the older kids who liked Monster High back then, so my skills, like drawing skills, were a little bit better, and I had like a creative mind back then. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I had so many ideas, and I was finally able to express them throughout Monster High. and it made me so motivated to create things too. I am not exactly sure what the challenge was again with this, but I won her, which was so exciting, and I screamed because this was the first time I ever won a Monster High doll. Number 3, Cleo and Deuce Wave 1. So I won these two as well. That's why my Cleo is so wonky, because I wasn't able to pick her out myself. But I won them in a competition as well, alongside the Monster High book, I believe. And I think I know the challenge. You had to create your own Monster High character. I created this lizard girl, Igora Reptilia. I did like this randomizer name thing on the internet, like monster names. And then I found her name and I was like, yes, I'm gonna make this reptile girl. And I even drew like a Dead Tired version of her and a Dawn of the Dance version. I think even a Gloom Beach one. And that's when I won these two. So also a very fun memory for me. Number 2, Dracula 13 Wishes. So the weird thing is, I don't necessarily have a good bond with this doll. And the reason is because I owned her twice. I already bought her and then I won her in a competition. I don't think I knew that I was gonna get Dracula. I think it was one of the 13 Wishes dolls, but I already owned Dracula. I was still really happy to receive her, of course. But at one point I was kind of like, I've seen her enough. 13 Wishes was also in stores a lot, and at one point I kind of got sick of seeing only 13 Wishes dolls in stores, so that was kind of like making me a little bit annoyed. And I won her alongside the Monster High 13 Wishes Wii game. I didn't have a Wii, but I played it at my cousin's house a couple of times and my ex-boyfriend's house. It's legit one of the hardest games I've ever played, and I really didn't think it was for kids. I couldn't figure out most of the things too, so I kind of gave up and I kind of got angry. You know, looking at her right now, I do really love her and I think she is stunning. And of course, that she was given to me is amazing. Also, what I did with the second one, I wanted to customize her. So my first custom doll was Itachi Macaron, and I even have an Instagram account for her. I don't know the login at all, but I made this whole Instagram account for her. Her face is already removed again because it was terrible. She's ready to be customized again, but then maybe a little upgrade. That's what I did with the second Dracula, and it was so scary to cut her hair and so scary to remove her face. I was like terrified. Number 1, Avi. Dracula Dead Tired. This was my first Monster High doll I've ever owned, and I think I told the story already in my top 10 favorite Dracula dolls, but I'm happy to tell it again because this is the doll that started it all, that started this collection, that started my obsession, my addiction, and everything. So before me and my sister started to collect Monster High, we wanted to collect Bratz. I wanted all the Yasmins, she wanted all the Chloes, and maybe I wanted some Jades because those two were my favorite characters and I only kind of wanted those two. My sister wanted the Chloes, and that's kind of how we started collecting. But then Bratz was cancelled because of Mattel and the whole MGA versus Mattel thing. And then I saw webisodes of Monster High and I was like, huh, what is this? This is interesting. I like the characters. I like all their personalities. I like the fashion and all these weird, quirky, crazy puns and everything. And then I found out they had dolls. I looked up reviews and I fell in love with them, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna like them enough to collect them. Me and my sister decided to go to the toy store and we actually saw Monster High dolls. We saw the Wave 1 dolls and the Dead Tired dolls. Because we weren't sure yet, we decided to get a Dead Tired doll because they were a little bit cheaper than the Wave 1 dolls. Only €5, so it really didn't make much of a difference. But anyways, we got them and my sister got Gully Dead Tired and I got Dracula Dead Tired, and we played with them for hours. Only 2 dolls and we played with them for hours. After that we looked at each other and we decided, yeah, we need more, and that's when we started collecting. So this doll has such a special place in my heart because she really motivated me to collect and have this collection, and I'm still so happy that my life went the way it went, because otherwise I wouldn't be the person I am today, and I wouldn't have this collection, and I wouldn't have the same mindset, and I wouldn't have the same love towards collecting and towards other people that collect. So yeah. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope everyone liked it. Let me know in the comments down below what your childhood dolls are and what kind of memories you have with them, because I'm really curious to know and I always want to read every single comment. So please let me know in the comments down below, and I see you guys in my next video. Bye!